Okay, I'm roughing a goblet from a log to my rough state, which would be basically the point where I can dry it. First of all, of course, we're between centers, so we want to get it smoothed up a little bit, get some of the vibration out of it, and get it flat ends so I can get it on the chuck, so it doesn't decide to throw at me. And that's called a catch. And that's the problem with the rough stuff. You got sharp edges, you got protrusions sticking out that can catch you like that. Keep the speed low. Keep the speed low. A little easier to stop if need be. I'm going to take those rough spots off like that. I was a little bit of a hurry there, I think. Ordinarily, you want to take relatively easy ones until you get it roughed out. You know, get some of those catch points off there. Getting there. I want to keep it as close as I can. Once you get some of those sharp spots that are sticking out, you can go a little bit more aggressive, cut a little bit deeper. You get bigger chunks like that. I love watching it baby fly. This is a small piece of beetle killed cut pine. Which will give a real neat character with it once we get in there. You never know what's inside the wood. Sometimes we run into a lot of bugs. Sometimes we run into nails. Sometimes we run into just an ugly piece of wood. It's kind of rare, but it does happen. Nearly completely smoothed off. That's the outside. The last part that's the outside of the natural edge. I take the bark off earlier so it's not flying at me, because once I do start cutting to especially this wood, it'll fly out. Throw chunks of bark at me all the time. A log like this that hasn't been store-bought wood, kiln dried, you know it's not going to be a lot of cracks or anything like that. It's not going to be all checked out. There's going to be cracks and stuff throughout the surface of the wood. You'll see quite a few of them here. As I get a little farther, you'll notice it. But I will fill those, and I'll use epoxy, because any drinking vessel will be completely encased with epoxy. It will never leak, ever, unless you break it. That's trued. Now, I need to get the ends smoothed off and get a tenon on it, so I can get it on the chuck. Now, with all this fairly round now, there's not going to be a tremendous amount of vibration. I'm not going to be catching those protrusions. I'm going to put a little more speed on there. This makes sense. If it goes faster, I can move more quicker. That surface is pretty smooth, but I need to get just a little bit deeper in the middle. So I'm going to have to move a little more of it. That's to allow space for the chuck. Down to my tenon. Once I get my tenon made, it'll allow me to chuck up. I'll remove the center, the live center, and I'll put the chuck on my headstock. As wet as this is, I'm going to reinforce the tenon once I get it cut with super glue. It'll be removed later. That's part of my strap. There is some strap. Measure this, how deep I'd be and stuff like that. I can pretty much by eye now. Just a little more. That should take care of that one. That is basically roughing the log, and once I get that back in there, we'll go to part 2.